Once called Carolina's Stadium, it now goes by Bank of America Stadium. Or more simply, the Vault, as we're here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Up next, we'll keep it within the NFC for this game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers.
Ryan Fitzgerald to kick off for Carolina.
Well, this weather is not cooperating as we're set to go. And off we go from Bank of America Stadium. Here's a return from the 7. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
All right, let's get this one on the road, Brock. It is 1st and 10. Ryan begins with a run by Irving. He'll stay upright through this rain, but not through that hit as he's tackled after about a 1-yard gain.
1-yard gain.
Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
At the 27-yard line.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on 2nd.
Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on 2nd down.
180!
Mayfield to throw. Looking for him on the screen there, but it's incomplete. So 2nd down produces nothing. Back to the huddle they go for 3rd down.
As a quarterback, you love when that screen pass is called. At least I used to. And you want to attract that defense and all those guys coming after you. But you also got to find a throwing lane. And he couldn't do it on that one.
3rd down. Here's Mayfield. He finds out on the slant. He's close, but they say he did not get there. It's going to be 4th and maybe a yard.
It's
feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the 4th down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
180!
He's getting it. He's going for it. The defense seizing the opportunity. Great stop. They've got a turnover on downs, and they get their guys the ball in plus territory.
Result of the play is
Kate, I don't know what the punter did to hurt people's feelings, because I think the reasoning was pretty clear. They were going to go for it. There was not going to be a punter that touched the field.
22.
Not an advisable mindset now as they turn it over in their end of the field.
Outright, Leggett makes the grab. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5.
Ready, ready. Blue, 32. Yellow, Lonnie. Set, go.
They're going to run it. This is Trevor Etienne.
What was supposed to move the chains, or at least make 3rd down easier to handle instead, did the exact opposite here, Kate. Now makes this 3rd down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
And 6.
Extra man in the secondary for the Bucs on 3rd down. 3rd and long. They're going to throw. Brought in close to the 8. Yes, the Carolina touchdown. The Panthers get a perfect start. They've gone up 6-0. So a touchdown on the board for them, Brock, as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. They couldn't take away that big old tight end.
So they got him for roughing the kicker. They're going to put that penalty yardage on the spot of the ensuing kickoff.
Ryan Fitzgerald to kick off.
Fitzgerald on to handle the kickoff. And he just sends this out and over the end zone. So no threat of a return. They're going to spot the ball to the 35 to begin this drive. Good starting field position for the Buccaneers. 1st and 10.
Set. 180.
Now bringing tight end in motion right.
What's up?
1st down. Here's Baker. That's complete, Mike Evans. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line.
Complete to number 13.
That's what you call
Mike Evans.
efficiency. Exactly what
It's
you're
a
looking
gain of
for on
8.
1st down.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
It sets up 2nd and very
43-yard
manageable.
line.
And it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
King.
Baker now from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
Complete to Cade Otton. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
What's up?
Shotgun hand off to Irving. And he'll stay upright through this rain, but not through that hit as he's tackled after about a 1-yard
Derek
gain.
Brown on the stop.
Just a gain of 1, and that
A
brings
gain
up
of a
2nd and 9.
yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat
Panthers'
sheet. But if you see a
46-yard
bigger
line.
play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
What's up?
Mayfield now from the gun. Short pass thrown in. And that tackle came at the last moment to save the
Complete
first
to
in
Chris
this.
Godwin.
And sets up 3rd and short from the
It's a
37.
gain of 8. Brings
We
up
saw his
3rd
guys pick
and
up the
1.
blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
Start.
Look at this. Tight end getting a carry here. And this defense is going to win this rep. They hold strong there in the middle. Get him down right at the line. 4th down coming up.
4th down.
It's weird to say, and it certainly won't show up on the stat sheet, but I want to give a lot of credit to that runner. Even though it didn't gain a yard, it actually took a heck of an effort just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, you kind of understand this one, right? Would have been a long field goal in the rain, but instead of trying that, they're going to go for it.
180. Alert. What's up?
Mayfield to throw for it. And they don't get the catch they need there. Their hand is forced, Brock. Had to try and go for it, but they turn it over on downs.
Yeah, I don't care that they didn't get it. Still the right call in that situation. It's a little too long for a field goal, and a punt really nets you very few yards. The decision-making was sound. It was the execution that let them down.
Connects on the crosser. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line.
19 yards.
That play goes for 19 and a new set of downs. No doubt they'll take a repeat of how this game began, Brock, and that play has them on their way towards it.
Scripting for success. They'll keep pressing the advantage, too, until some resistance has got to finally appear.
Yellow. Ready. 45. Needle blue. Set.
To the air on 1st down. Young. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete. Well, they connected on 3 straight before that throw, Brock. Might not be perfect anymore on this drive, but they are still moving it well.
And I don't expect that one to interrupt his progress very long. They're still on a mission this series, and he's the one driving it.
Okay, ready?
No luck on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Black. Set.
Shotgun snap now to Young. Still has some space inside the 35. And he's got his guys into the red zone before someone can force him out. Give him 24 yards on that one. And that's good for a Panthers first.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him in a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, then go to work.
And they're going to have 1st and goal after he picked up a nice chunk there.
More yards.
That's just not the guy defensively you ever want in the open field. Frankly, with the amount of space he had at one point, they're lucky to have limited to the gain they did.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal.
Ready. Hut.
To the ground they go. Hubbard. So some defensive initiative in that goal to go, Brock. They take him down behind the line. 2nd and goal coming up.
brings up second
I'm going to guess at some point, whether it's in the huddle or over there on the bench on the sidelines after this drive, QB is going to go apologize to that running back. He just ran him into one heck of a negative play.
Driven backward to the 11 as they line up for second and goal.
Ready?
Out of the gun, Young. One connects. Touchdown, Carolina. The Panthers pull that in front for their 13th zip. Xavier Legette with the touchdown. This is Fitzgerald trying to tack on the extra point. Bad weather doesn't affect that extra point. It's good. And the Panthers drive out to an early 14-0 lead.
Buccaneers, nothing.
Now Fitzgerald on to handle the kickoff.
Fitzgerald to kick off for Carolina.
Johnson now on the return. He stopped on the run back to the 27.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Starting out trips right here. First and 10. Here's Baker. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete.
Mayfield's pass.
No luck on the look to his back. And now it's second down.
It leads to
we see
second
this
and
all
10.
the time at every level of football. You've got to catch it first. It's just like when a receiver receives a handoff. You've got to secure the ball, then let your athleticism take off.
180.
Man in motion here.
What's that?
Second down. Mayfield the pass. Catch made by Bucky Irving. And they take him down, but there's a flag on the play. Well, you know this, Brock. Even on a trick play, roughing the passer still applies to whoever's throwing that football, and it comes into play right there.
Yeah, you're the one who sniffs it out, Kate, that trick play, and you know it. Like, you feel so good about it, but then you got to remember, it's not just the QBs that can get roughed. When you hit a guy that late, he too has that same kind of protection.
Roughing the passer on that last play, and that's always going to lead to an automatic first down. Now Mayfield. That winds up incomplete and brings an end to our opening quarter. We're a quarter of the way through on this chilly winter afternoon. The Panthers have taken the early lead. We'll take a brief pause and head back to Bank of America Stadium after this. Back for the start of quarter number 2. It's Buccaneers football as we begin. They still have 10 to go here. It's second down. Oh, he put everything he had into that throw. Really pushing the envelope on second down, but the deep shot doesn't work.
Safe to say there's been an early disconnect between the planning phase and the execution phase for this offense. Might be time, Kate, really to get back to basics, to the calls that you just trust the most.
What's that?
Air it out on third. And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up fourth down.
Intended for Mike Evans.
Really stings, Kate, because you want to convert there and not only keep this drive going for points, because now you're giving your opponent a chance to go pad that lead before halftime. That's a no-no.
Fair
A
catch.
sure-handed play there in the rain. He brings in the fair catch
The
without a
Panthers take
problem.
over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Ready.
Panthers look just about ready. First and 10.
Set. Hut. Yellow. Lonnie. Set.
Here's ETN to begin the drive. He starts out this drive with a nice gain of 8. Second down.
ETN, the ball carrier.
Cool thing about a drive starting
down
run
at the
like that, Kate, is it
35-yard
really
line.
just gives you every
A gain of
opportunity
9
to play, but whatever you
brings
want to do.
up second
And
and
as for
1.
me, I like to reward that runner. Give it to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
Set.
Counter give to ETN. And in a blink, they are off to midfield before somebody manages to stop it. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's going to bring up the Carolina first down.
First down.
Well, that play right there, that one is why linemen, they run the 40, do all the agility tests in their spandex at the combine. Yeah, having fast, agile, big guys up front, it lets them set the table so the running backs could go do their job.
Blue. 32. Fury. Yellow. Ready.
First down, Young. Completes, it's Trevor Etienne. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop.
It's a gain of 9.
I call this quarterback's best friend.
And a yard.
Some call it a safety valve, some call it
42-yard
automatic.
line.
But it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Let's go. Hut, hut.
On second down, it's Etienne. And that short gain is enough for a new set of down.
Hey, Kate, you want to see a picture in the football dictionary of staying on schedule?
First down.
That was it.
First and
From
10
the 40-yard line now,
line.
this is first and 10.
Set. Set. Go.
Etienne again. And he manages to find a little traction on that search field as he fights forward for a couple.
Christian
Give him a few
Izzy
yards on that
stop.
run. It's second and 7.
A 3-yard pickup.
That's the kind of run play that feels like tug-of-war at field day.
37-yard
And you're just not moving the other side. Just a short run. Neither side feels particularly good about it. And we'll move to the next.
Set.
Into a crowd, and a defender comes up with it. Picked off by Jacob Parrish. Into the red zone. And he takes this one back. It's a big six and a Tampa Bay touchdown.
Gosh, I love that play on so many levels, Kate. Making the interception, already a terrific effort by everybody involved. But to put the cherry on top, to take it all the way back to the house, it required extra effort from everybody, and they get the job done.
McLaughlin's extra point is up and good. And the Buccaneers chop the lead in half. It's down to 7.
Buccaneers 7.
Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick 6. Has this at the 6. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line.
First and 10 at their on 27-yard line.
Carolina offense to the line. Here's first and 10.
Right. Here we go. Set. Blues. 60. Claws red. Steel. Black. Drill green. Ready.
Young back to it after the pick. Pass brought in by Terrell and McMillan. They're going to have this up at the 44-yard line as they hold him down.
Yards.
That play good for 17 and a first down.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about two things: separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks. That's the trust. And then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
6. Black Ultra. Needle blue. Hut, hut.
From the pistol, it's Young. He fires one deep down the left side. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. That's Antoine Winfield Jr. I've got to imagine, partner, there are a lot of folks shaking their heads at seeing that. He has battled interceptions all season, and here, he's now been picked off on back-to-back drives.
Yeah, shaking their heads because on this drive and throughout the season, the adjustments just haven't been there. The picks just keep coming week after week after week, and this time, back-to-back series.
Mayfield's
He'll go down after pushing this up to the 29.
It's now second and 6.
To throw is Mayfield.
29-yard line.
Finds him over the middle. And he's taken down quickly. Nicely done by the defense. The catch does get him to the 39-yard line.
Run. It's a gain of 10. First down, Tampa
Play
Bay.
action. Here's Mayfield. Scott Evans once again.
Mayfield's pass.
And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line.
Every once in a
4
while,
yards
it's fine
on the
to be
pickup.
conservative on first down,
Second and
especially when you
6
get enough to
at
stay
the
on schedule and
43-yard
get a little
line.
something coming out of it, too.
Second and 6 coming up here. Baker throwing again. On him quick, and they bring him down. That's going to add some distance onto this upcoming third down.
Sacked. A loss of 7 yards. And it's third down. Third and 14.
They need a good chunk here, at least 14 yards to pick up this first down.
180! What's up?
Third and long, Mayfield. Out wide, and it's intercepted. And the Panthers, they're going to have it. And he's going to hang on to that football. That's his first career interception.
Intercepted. The Panthers take over first and 10 at the 46-yard line.
First and 10 now from the 46.
Ultra! Go Ultra! Hey!
Running with Hubbard out of the gun. And he's going to be down to within a yard of that red zone as the stop is made. This one goes for an
It's
even
a gain of 25 yards on the play.
And that's good for a Panthers
and the
first.
Panthers first
No
down.
frills, nothing fancy. That was
First
just a
and
good
10
old
at the
offensive line
21-yard
dominated
line.
in the trenches. And that sprung them to get to the second level and beyond.
Here we go, set! Black 40!
Here's ETN on first down. And he gets 4 for 3 yards as we reach our 2-minute warning.
He's taken
Solid
down
4-yard
at the
gain there, and now
17-yard
they've got
line.
second and 6
A
coming
gain
up.
of 4. It's
You know,
now
these are the kind of
second
runs,
and
Kate,
6.
that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
4 yards on that first down run. Here's second and 6.
Set! 60 red! 60 ready! Ready!
Completed out to the left on that play. And he's going to have him a first and goal from the 4 as he goes out.
Move the chain!
13 yards on the play.
Ready up!
Momentum to keep
That's
that
good
defense
for a
on its
Panthers
heels.
first down.
Here we go!
First and goal at the 4-yard
Yellow,
line.
43. Hut, hut!
ETN. Just 1 yard on first and goal. Still 4 yards to go on
He was
second.
brought down at the 4-yard line.
Timeout taken by the
It's a
Buccaneers.
gain of
They're
a yard.
first.
Brings up
As they'll meet
second
and decide
and
what to
goal.
do on this second down.
Hey, I get it on first and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped
Ready,
short,
ready.
you still got 2, sometimes
50,
3
green.
downs to play with.
Hut.
Line up the design keeper. And he runs it across. Touchdown. The Panthers grow their lead just before halftime. It's a Bryce Young touchdown. They broke out the design run for him there. Coach just tells him, hey, Brock, KQB, do your thing. Get us 6.
Yeah, and these offensive coaches love this play, and defensive coaches hate it too. Because it really gives you an extra hat, right? An extra number when your QB's got the athleticism, got the legs, got the instincts to go run it in for 6. A defensive nightmare, an
Ryan
offensive
Fitzgerald
touchdown.
to kick off for Carolina.
Now Fitzgerald on to handle the kickoff. And that one bounces through the end zone
The
for a
Bucs take
touchback.
over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Good starting field position for the Buccaneers. 1st and 10.
Start.
Not deterred by that pick. He's throwing again. Trying for the deep ball. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
With each incompletion, each turnover, each sack, you can almost just feel this offense's frustration. Really imperative, this quarterback, stay positive. Just keep chopping away.
Following the incompletion, we stay at the 35. It's 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Baker. Gets him on the inlet. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. Tampa spends its second time out now. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting the first.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
1st and 10 now from the 46. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. Who should have had another one there. Defense getting opportunity after opportunity to pick it off. The 2 in a row now slipped away.
Jordan Whitehead.
Well, that's not the uniform you want to see almost bringing it in. They are so fortunate to have another shot down here after the near pick.
Almost had back-to-back interceptions. A chance for him now to clean things up here on 2nd down. Mayfield to throw again. Complete to his man, Sterling Shepard. And he's going to be stopped, but not before he gets him all the way down to that 15-yard line. Buccaneers hustling to the line. They're in the hurry up.
A gain of 31 yards. 1st down,
That timeout taken by the Buccaneers, and that's their final one. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. Coming to the line for another 1st and 10.
180.
Throwing again. It's Mayfield. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Trying to get it into Emeka Egbuka. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Once more, it's Mayfield. It's complete. Shepard. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11. Buccaneers hustling to the line. They're in the hurry up.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
3rd down. Here's Mayfield. That's the 1st down, and he's still going. And he's blocked down real close to that goal line at the 1.
A gain of 10
Offense in the
yards.
hurry up here.
That's another Buccaneers first down.
Has the Tampa Bay touchdown. The Buccaneers making a one-score game before halftime. Well, this is the continuation of one of the greatest scoring seasons in recent memory, Brock. For the first time since 2006, we've got a running back who's reached 20 touchdowns in a single season.
Makes the score
That
Panthers
one splits
21.
the uprights.
Buccaneers
And the Buccaneers
14.
chop the lead in half. It's down to 7.
Chase McLaughlin to kick off for the
And
Buccaneers.
just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Trevor Etienne to return this. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20.
On the return. The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Only 10 seconds remaining here, so 1st and 10 may be our last snap of the half.
Down. Yes, ready.
Back to throw it. And that's incomplete with 7 seconds left. Time for one, maybe two more snaps.
Incomplete.
And this is why scouts talk
Brings
about a
up
player's
2nd and 10
closing
at the
speed.
22-yard
Once
line.
he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
Ready. 33. Yep. Green Jack. 6. Mega. Blaster. 6. Blue striker. Set. Go.
He's back to throw. They don't connect there, and now just 3 seconds showing on the clock.
Intended for number 18.
Just cannot afford right here, Kate, to go 3 and out. Not when you
Brings up
watched
a
your
third
counterpart
down
score a touchdown.
and 10 yards to
Cling
go.
to that lead and find a way to convert this third down. It's a big one.
Okay,
And cut
right.
off some of the mojo from the other side.
All right, this is going to be the play that takes us to halftime.
Come on. Set. Ready. Ready. Red. 38. Fury. Yellow. Hut. Hut.
Looking to throw. Can't find anyone open, and he's forced to throw it away. That's halftime of this contest. We'll join both teams in taking a short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports in just a moment.
Chase McLaughlin to kick off for the
McLaughlin has it on the
Buccaneers.
teeth, and he's ready to send this flying. Fielded at the 7. And in the end, he's able to get it to about the 25-yard line before he's hauled down.
At their own 25-yard line.
Getting a pistol formation here first as they come to the line.
Here we go. Here we go. 50. Green. Ready.
They'll start the second half with ETN. And they blow up the opening play of this drive. Love the aggressiveness from this defense.
Sanzalone on the
That's a
tackle.
nice quick correction for this
A
front,
loss of
Brock. Give
2.
up the big play
Brings up
and then get a
second
little
and
back on the
12.
very next one.
At the
Exactly the
23-yard
kind of
line.
response you want to see from your defense. You got to
Ready.
forget about the big play for now. Just stay focused on that next snap.
Red. Cycle. Ready.
Here's Young to throw. Couldn't connect across the middle, and it's an incomplete pass.
Intended for
Xavier
Xavier
Legette, the target on that throw.
Incomplete.
So they're left facing third
Makes
and
it
long.
third down and
Okay,
12
this quarterback
yards
gets
to
out
go.
of the pocket, genuinely a coin toss whether he's going to keep it with his legs or put in the air. Sigh of relief there defensively as that ball falls incomplete.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here.
Let's go now. Yellow. 43. Set.
The throw outside, and they might throw this again. He finds a man, that's covered. He's going to be pushed out near that 40-yard line.
A gain of 15
Gain
yards.
15 there. And
the
that's going to bring up the
Panthers
Carolina first down.
First and 10
New set
at
of
the
downs for him.
38-yard
Starts
line.
at the 38.
Set. Hut. 52.
Young on first and 10. Has him on the quick hitter. Rolling into enemy territory. He's going to be hauled down on a gain across midfield, down inside the 45-yard
18
line.
more yards.
Give him an
That's
18-yard
another
pickup there.
Panthers
And
first
that's good for a
down.
Panthers first.
First and 10 at the
Markers are reset.
44-yard
Here we go.
line.
Ball at the 44.
Here we go. Set.
To the air, yet again. Young. Lying right side by McMillan. And they're going to be set up just outside that red zone. They get 23 on that one.
A gain
And
of
that's going to bring up the
23
Carolina
yards.
first down.
That's another
Sure seems like he knew
Panthers
exactly what he
first
wanted,
down.
and he got it going
First
right
and
where
10
he
at
wanted
the
to with the ball off
21-yard
the snap.
line.
They'll come up on first and 10.
Ready. Yellow. 22. Spike. Hut. Hut.
Out of the gun, a give to ETN. And he works his way for a gain of 4. All right, we'll take a brief timeout here for an injured player. Never something you want to see this late in the season. They're going to check him out. First down run, nabs him 5. Now second and 5.
Set. Black. 95. Blaster. Right, right. Set.
Out of the gun, Young. And he just got it away
Young's
before the hit,
pass.
but the pass winds up
Intended for
incomplete. It's
Xavier
going to be third
Legette.
down.
Incomplete.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Yellow, black, ready.
Young to throw here on third. Cut near the goal line. He has the Carolina touchdown. The Panthers grow the lead coming out of halftime. I should know this by now, Brock. I don't know if you're a Broadway guy, but there's a lot of names that belong on the playbill for this lead we've got here, but his name belongs on the marquee as he brings in his second touchdown grab.
Yeah, a bunch of contributors all throughout this roster. No, not a Broadway guy. And with 2 scores now, it's what, a 2-score game? Easy to see he's been one of the key actors throughout.
Appreciate the honesty. And that kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. So we got a touchback. This drive will start at the 35-yard line. Good starting field position for the Buccaneers. 1st and 10.
180.
To throw, Mayfield. Throw pass blocked by his defense. They drop him with a big hit. At least he's able to hold on for the game, but boy, Brock, what
it's a pickup of 6. Brings up
offensive line. This is 2nd and 4.
At the 41-yard line.
Here's Baker to throw. Completed over the middle. And this great effort winds up getting them well into enemy territory before he's brought down. It's a gain of 22
yards.
And the Bucs have the first.
Number 13.
Most of the hurry up here.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Alert! Watch out!
First down. Here's Baker. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
Intended for Keith.
Working across the middle, Brock. It is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess. Even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact.
Bucky moving the ball carrier.
Only can get his yard here, Brock. It's going to be 3rd down.
At the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 2 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Third and long for him here. Wow, and they're actually going to lose some yardage here as they fail to convert. Now they're facing 4th down.
He's taken out
I'll tell you, that is a humbling moment to see a completed 3rd down pass actually go backwards instead of towards the sticks.
And he drives this into the pouring rain. He brings in the fair catch here, but, well, we might not be done. We've got a flag on the field. Well, if there's an avoidable penalty, Brock, that's probably it. He just didn't let him make the fair catch, and that's going to help their field position considerably. The worst time for a mistake defensively, and that awards them this 1st and 10.
Let's go. 33, yellow. Ready?
On play action, here's Young. Bails out of the pocket quick. Caught along the left sideline. He's taken down, but not before he gets this one to the 41.
17 yards.
The big play nets him 17 yards. And that's good for a Panthers first. Big shot to begin the drive has him up beyond the 40.
Needle blue. Ready. Yellow, set.
First down, Young. This is Liggins working the left side. And they send him out of bounds as he gets this to the opposing 45.
It's a gain of 14
They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
That's another.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend? Do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
Let's see how they attack this first down, partner, from the 45.
Let's go now. Red. Check white. Set, go.
Trying it right side with ETN. Trying to make it happen, but no luck. This goes backwards on first down.
The ball carrier.
That one felt
He
kind of
was brought down
counterintuitive
by
there, Brock. They
Levante
load up the
David.
line with that extra blocking,
tackle
and then the
made
run
back
goes
at
out to the edge anyway.
48-yard line.
That's right. You put two tight ends on the field, yeah, you can live with a stalemate. It's hard to move people in the NFL, but you do not want to go backwards.
Offense to the line for second down.
52 blaster. Ready?
Going play action. Young. Play didn't break how they wanted it, and he throws this away.
And incomplete.
Kate, I got to believe he
Jacob
harkened back to that
Parrish on the
earlier pick
coverage.
and thought the better of making another. Getting outside the pocket, he was either going to try to run for it, had nowhere to go,
On the
or
ready.
simply threw it away.
No connection on the last play, and now it's third down.
Set, ready. Black shot. 60 red. Hut, hut.
Here he goes, third and long. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. Fourth
Intended
down
for
coming up.
Xavier Leggett.
I'll say, Kate, that
Incomplete.
defense looked even better, sharper on
Sam
third down than they did
Martin
on
in front
second. They
formation
played
for
that one so
Carolina.
tight there was no window to throw.
And this one,
The Bucs
touchdown
take over
inside
first
the
and
30.
10 at their own 27-yard line.
Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. First and 10. Baker now from the gun. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free.
Intended
Incomplete.
for Cade Otton.
No surprise to see the
Incomplete.
quarterback go back to that well. That
It's
security
now
blanket that's been his
second
tight
and
end
10.
all game long, but finally, this defense has an answer.
Throwing again is Baker. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
Intended for Cade
Well-timed
Otton.
strike by that defender to knock it
Incomplete.
free. So now it's
Brings
going to be
up
third and
down
long.
and 10.
You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop it.
It's a gain of
Looking
18.
quickly, trying to get set.
That's good for a first down.
Irvin here from the gun. He'll stay upright through this rain, but not
Number
through that
7,
hit as he's
Bucky
tackled after
Irving,
about a
the ball
1-yard
carrier.
gain.
He was
He gets a
tackled
couple
at
on
the
first, and they'll
46-yard
come up
line.
second and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8.
Mayfield now from the gun. Right side, hauled in by Godwin. And he takes it across midfield. Panthers territory.
That's
Offense
a
in a
gain
hurry
of
up here.
6. Brings up third and 3.
Third and short, Mayfield. He had it for a moment, but a great
Mayfield's
defensive play. Charlie loose,
Intended for
incomplete.
Cade Otton.
Ball and defender
Incomplete.
arrived at the exact same time there.
Brings up
So it's going to be fourth
down.
and short.
The numbers tell us pretty clearly, you get to third and long, extra long, it's really hard to stay on the field. That's disappointing because that was third and manageable and an incomplete.
Mayfield will throw for it. And it's incomplete. They tried with their best effort, Brock, but they come up empty. That's going to be a turnover on downs.
Result of the play.
You know, Kate, I don't think
is
I've
a
ever met a
turnover
defender
on
that
downs.
cares. All they want to do is get off the field. Doesn't matter if it's a drop pass, deflection, breakup, even an interception. Challenged by the offense to get one more stop to get off the field, and that's exactly what they did.
Into the hands of his running back, ETN.
Young's pass.
And he drives this across
Complete to
midfield and
Trevor
down into
Etienne.
enemy territory.
A 6-yard pickup.
And for somebody who's been
Brings
picked
up
off like
second
he
and
has,
4
Brock, you gotta
at the
admire his
45-yard
determination
line.
to keep attacking these coverages.
Yeah, that is risk. Right into double coverage yet again. But this guy's got what I call a high belief factor in himself.
Finds a seam down the middle. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Carolina. The Panthers stretch their lead on the final play of the third. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period. End of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
That one right down the middle.
35.
And the Panthers takes their lead to 21. 14. We're through 3 on this holiday weekend. And when we resume play, it'll be with a kickoff.
Ryan Fitzgerald,
On to handle the kickoff. And this is going to bounce out of the end zone, so they will set up shop at the 35. Good starting field position for the Buccaneers. 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. Catch made left side by Abuka. Stop is made as he drives this to the opposing 43. They managed 22 on the rip and a first down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
One play in blocking this drive is already in enemy territory.
180! Start!
First down throw here, Mayfield. Finds the in route complete. And he's going to be down within a yard of that red zone as the stop is made. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains. Moving quickly, trying to get set again.
Buccaneers, first down. First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
This might be a free play for him. This one won't be reeled in, but they had that green light to take the shot, and they did. Looked like somebody on the defense jumped the snap. Pretty easy call to make. He lined up offsides, and now he gets a talking to from his coach. A bit jumpy across the way there, and that halves the distance ahead of him on first down.
20!
Looking inside the red zone. Gets him on the quick hitter. And he's going to follow up the penalty with a 4-yard gain, make it 2nd and a yard.
A 5-yard
That's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on the throw, it's a go-to route to target.
Putting the receiver in motion.
Start!
This is Irving on 2nd. And he couldn't get much there, but what he did get was absolutely crucial. That makes it 1st and goal.
It's a gain of
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, kid, if you want to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No 3rd down required now.
That one connects. And this one stopped at the 3-yard
Big time
line.
drive. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Let's go quickly here.
Regular.
A gain of 7 brings up 2nd and goal.
Trying to run with Irving. Defense wins this rep. That's stopped at the line, and now they've got 3rd and goal.
Brought down right
Well, now things get a little dicey for this offense. One down left before a big decision to make. Do you continue to try running it against a front that stopped you, or are you now forced to put the ball in the air?
Mayfield now on 3rd and goal. Headed out right. And they score. It's a Tampa Bay touchdown. The Buccaneers get it back to within 2 possessions. Baker Mayfield the touchdown.
Chase McLaughlin.
Okay, we talked to enough coaches over the years, and find me a good red zone offense, and typically you find me a good, creative quarterback, one that can extend the play, use his legs as effectively as he can his arm.
Still down a couple of scores after that. They're going to set up for the onside kick. And the Panthers secure that kick.
Onside
And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line.
Panthers.
Well, kind of. It's like we're starting to get to that point, Brock.
And what point is that, Kate?
You know, the bold point of the game where you have to try something bold could end up becoming a play that finally sinks him, though.
Yeah, and it's time for desperation. Without a defensive stop here, it's really hard to lay out the scenarios for much success. Every second matters now when you don't come up with that onside kick.
Set.
from the gun. ETN gets it. And he's able to stay on his feet through that run, at least until the tackle stops. He picked up close to 4. Give him 5 on that carry. Bring it up second and 5.
You know, Kate, that might be a little bit of a disappointing run to him. He wanted more. They always do. But that's exactly what they were after offensively to get this drive moving.
Here we go. Here we go. Black 40.
Young working from the gun. He isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. Timeout taken by the Buccaneers. They're first. They still have 2 to work with in this final quarter.
It's now 3rd down.
Will this drive continue? Here comes 3rd down.
Down. Yellow. Claws red. Slice blue. Set.
Shotgun snap now to Young. That's where right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground.
Well, that's when he chalked up to the pressure, earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Panthers getting everyone set for the punt.
For Carolina.
Baby, there's way too much behind that kick, and he knew it. So that's all the way over the end zone for a touchback. First look, a little pistol formation as they come to the line. 1st and 10.
180.
Off the play fake. Here's Mayfield. And that one falls incomplete. So it would have been a great catch. Shows a great effort. That brings up 2nd down.
Incomplete.
Hey, Mr. Quarterback down there, that's a throw that's got to go somewhere else. Double coverage is waiting for it. QB super fortunate that ball wasn't picked. Incompletion, still pretty good for the defense, too.
Grafton Otten makes the grab. Quick round and catch by the defense, stopping the game at the 33.
That's good for a 1st down.
Mayfield thrown out of the pistol. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Incomplete.
Trying to find Mike Evans with that throw. So it'll be 2nd down. Got the one-on-one they wanted, Brock, on that slant, but just not enough to get the completion.
Yeah, you got to create separation. We all love the slant route. It could be super effective, but you got to beat press. You got to beat jam. You got to beat off man, and you got to create separation so there's not that bang-bang impact to knock the ball loose like that.
And he's tackled after a nice pickup, but we've got a flag down. This could wipe that play away. It'll work doubly as difficult now after that holding call. It's 2nd and 20. Once more, it's Mayfield. That's incomplete for the moment. We do have a flag down, but it might not be good news for their offense. That's usually where we see holding calls. So the refs get him for holding, and that's going to back this offense up. They'll take 2nd down behind the sticks now after that holding call. Baker throwing again. Throwing the out route complete. And he stopped at the spot he made the catch. So give him, looks like the 27 on that completion.
It's 3rd down and long.
3rd and long, Mayfield. Completed over the middle. And they catch him just in time to prevent the first, but that got very close, didn't it? It's 4th and maybe a yard.
A gain of 16.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, and you can make a play in the open field. Keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
33. What's that?
Here he goes. Gotta have this on 4th down. He can't get away. They get the sack and force a turnover on down.
I think every analytics book out there, Kate said, you got to go for it. You're in 4-down territory, down a couple scores here in the 4th. But now it's all about the defense. Can the defense come with a quick turnover or a stop to somehow, some way, spark a comeback?
This drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play sat down behind the line.
Dean on the tackle.
They sent him with that sack in mind, Brock. We all saw what was coming, so managed to clean up the play, even if it did come on the ground.
And you know why they call that a cat pressure from the secondary, Kate?
Tell me.
Because it's a C for corner and a T for attack, exactly what he just did.
Let's go. Ready.
Out of the gun, Young. Catch is made down the right sideline. And he's out of bounds, but this one's not going to stay there. And that flag is going to give him half the distance to the goal on top of it. Just a momentary loss of focus, a break in discipline, and not a good moment individually as he gets hit with that personal foul.
Set.
Running it after the penalty. And they take it across the goal line for a Carolina touchdown. The Panthers make it a 3-score game in the fourth.
Touchdown, Panthers.
Well, he found himself some space to work, and from there, all athleticism as he made his way in for 6.
You know, you run the ball down in the red zone, Kate, and you're always getting touchdowns, right? Space is so hard to come by. But you're exactly right. His athleticism, his explosion, his speed, it puts 6 on the board for the offense.
Now Fitzgerald on to handle the kickoff. Return coming from the 6. Shoots away from one. He's brought down to end that run back, and we have reached our 2-minute warning. Bucks to the line. 1st and 10.
Good. Stay open. 180. That's hot.
We give to Irving. His drive. He's going to keep his balance long enough to get ahead for a gain of 5. First down play, that's at 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Back to Irving now. Now he continues to find no traction on the ground here, Brock, as they bring him down for no gain.
The line of scrimmage.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just sometimes you got to run into darkness. Just go where there is no lane and hope that something opens along the way. That linebacker said, not this time.
He's going to get this one into enemy territory to the 47.
A gain of 24
You've got to keep moving quick here.
And a first down.
Real.
First and 10 at the 47.
First down, here's Baker. Into heavy coverage, and that's intercepted. And the Panthers are going to have their 2nd interception of the season.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
Come on, set.
Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down.
60 red. Set, go.
Here's a design run.
Let's go now.
Lining up to take a knee on 2nd down.
Yellow, 43. Set, hut.
They're drawing up for him. So the Panthers pick up the win here. And they draw first blood against a division rival. They'll go on the road later this year with a chance at